Welcome everybody to the new episode of How to Homeschool, and today we are having Yentl here. Please, Yentl, would you introduce yourself?
So I'm Yentl, and I actually was a stay-at-home mom for about 9 years before I started our Instagram adventure. It was actually since I stopped working, we had like a smaller budget, and we still loved, since we love travel so much, we had to just like try to implement our new budget in our travel regime. So I started to become very creative in like finding out the perfect deals and how to have the nice trip we really want to without having to spend like very much money.
How old are your children?
12 and 8.
12 and 8. So this is, which school year is this?
It's for Alice, it's the 3rd year of primary school.
Okay.
And for Aurélie, it's the 1st year of junior high.
Yeah, so there the workload is quite already big.
Yeah, it is. It is. And but I'm actually struggling the most with the 3rd year of primary school. It's a hard year because they get these first maths things. Like, yeah, they start with like basic calculus, like dividing, adding, and stuff like that. But now it's also, I don't know the word in English, breuken. You have like 2 and then a line and 4. I don't know the word in English. Fractions? Yeah, maybe.
I know it in German. It's Bruchteil, yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Breuken in Nederlands.
Like 1/8 and 1/16.
Yes, exactly. So they're starting that, and then the numbers with a comma in it too. So yes. Yeah, it's difficult. It's something difficult, yeah, to explain to them. But she's doing fine. We had lots of cakes.
And how do you manage, like, you are now as a homeschooler, like math teacher, language teacher, history teacher, geography? How do you manage with that? Do you feel sometimes overwhelmed?
I'm awful at maths, to be honest. I actually never, to be honest, I never passed any exam up till my fifth year of high school, because then I would just get 2 hours of maths a week, and all of a sudden I was okay with it. But before, it was awful. So it was never my cookie. But I'm very lucky to have a husband who actually studied maths in university.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the thing is, while teaching the kids, it's the first time in my life I'm actually starting to understand stuff myself. Like, okay, with like the fractions and counting and stuff, that was okay, of course. But like Aurélie, she's getting like more advanced maths, and because I sometimes have to explain her stuff, actually it's starting to come with me like, that's the way it's supposed to be. So that's still a struggle.
It's maybe because you're seeing now kind of the bigger picture, no?
I think so. And languages, I actually studied English and Dutch as a language teacher. So yeah, that's okay for me. But for languages, they actually use well, not Bingle, Duolingo. I don't know if you know the app.
I heard about it, yeah. So it's great for bigger kids, right?
Yeah, actually Alice likes it too, but from Dutch there are not so many options to learn another language. So only, I think from Dutch you can only learn English and German.
That's also already good, no?
Yes, yes.
How is it actually, the homeschooling in Belgium? Is it a difficult procedure, or did you go through?
It's much easier than I anticipated, because it's like such a mysterious thing. Everybody is like, homeschool, but how do you keep up with what they have to know? And what if they know too little? And what if they want to go back to school tomorrow? And it's like, yeah, it's actually not that hard, because government, they give you like such big lists with everything your kid has to know. And it's actually easy. It's like the schools use exactly the same lists. It's like you can just find it online. It's open for everybody. So you just take out a list. And what I found out is that schools really, they put too much time in, an extras like oh, let's take a walk here, let's do some talking here, let's solve this problem. So I think me and the girls, we have like maybe an hour a day of like really things they have to know, and after that they're more like, oh, let's practice some language, or let's go out and build something. And well, since we're locked up now, it's mostly situated around the house, but yeah, it's interesting. Especially the oldest one, she's really into technique, so she's all the time making stuff, and now she's renovating her bedroom all by herself.
It's also nice that you allow it as parents, you know, that you let them do things.
But I think it's a typical homeschooling thing. If you're really scared about giving your kids permission to do something, you don't homeschool, because then you prefer to have them in school, like do the things over there, and when you're home you watch TV and we go out to some sports and that's it. But yeah, I think it's nice. I helped her make sure the floor is totally covered.
This is a good tip, yeah. And do you have like from the government inspections, or how do you manage
Well,
it?
I didn't have inspection just yet. If you want to start homeschooling in Belgium, you have to write a letter, actually, and that's it. And they're like, oh, but you need permission for it. But actually, it's very easy. You just send a letter, you hear nothing, and they send you a letter back that it's been accepted. So I asked the institution that gives a permission, and they said, yeah, it's they have the motivational letter, of course, but they said if we sense that something is wrong, or the kid would call us to say like, oh, I want to be homeschooled, or my parents are goofs or something like that, or neighbors start calling, that's when we say like, oh, okay, this has to stop over here. But normally everybody is allowed to homeschool their kid. And you get the inspection like normally every other year. But it depends. They make an appointment. So if you're traveling abroad, you can just like send them an email, and they say, yeah, it's okay, just tell us when you're home, or send us like a curriculum. And to solve that problem, because actually before the whole quarantine thing, we decided to take a big trip next year. And yeah, to make sure everything would work out, if we would get inspection. My daughter is keeping a blog online.
I think the government has the, you know, right, or they're responsible that the child receives the education. Yeah. And when they see you also on the blog, on your travel blog, then they see that the child is in good hands and is keeping up with all the competences they need to know, then they're happy.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think that's a deal, because a neighbor of ours, a bit further away, he used to work for inspection, and when he heard Aurélie was being homeschooled, he was calling. He said, "Yeah, and what are you doing?" And I was talking. He said, "Yeah, it's amazing." And he said, "Yeah, relax." He said, "It's really just about child benefit, to make sure that they're okay." And because, well, it happens. Some people really take their kids out of school because they don't want the pressure, or they just don't care about the kids. So it's good that they keep some kind of inspection on it.
I also think so, because the inspections, they're also like for you as a parent kind of a feedback, you know, is my child keeping track? Because you want the best for your child as well, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, my sister is a maths teacher, and she regularly sends me an exam she makes for her students. So it's very nice. I can just like give it to Aurélie and check, okay, is she still okay? So that's nice. Yeah.